Shrisha is my friend, he's a globetrotter.
Travel is your second teacher. Travel teaches a lot more than that. Humility, different ecosystem, perspectives.
This is not travel, what you're saying is this is tourist place. You go to a tourist place.
Tourist place, or you go there as a tourist. The same places can offer you some zillion times more experience than what. Most people go to Bali, they go to beaches because Bali is a landscape place, lot of beautiful beaches and stuff like that.
So these are wonders basically.
These are wonders, beautiful. And you also got a pink beach till afternoon. The sand appears to be pink till about 2 o'clock. So you have to see it to believe it.
I can go to international place, I can go within India, I can go within my state. There's so many places, maybe within Bangalore also I do not know. In
Right.
and around, we don't know except for the places where it is advertised.
Yeah. So the thing is, it depends on the kind of time investment that you can make. That's because they want more stamps in their passport, nothing more than that. Because they want to come back and show people that I've got so many stamps. I've gone to, or even if it is not a stamp, they would want to. I had been to some 3-4 countries, do you know? But what they have done there, no one asked.
It is as good as going from Tamil Nadu to Karnataka.
Or you go to Majestic, go to the bus stand and come back. So I would put it that way. Yeah.
So this is about people who want to leisure plus activity. What are the other types?
Then you have people who would want to have hyperactivity.
Welcome to MKR Unplugged. The world's changing faster than ever. AI, trade wars, tech shifts, politics, even movies. Everything is disrupting our lives. I am Mohan Krishna Rao, economist, researcher and lifelong student of change. Here, we decode the past, analyze the present and predict the future to help you make the sense of what's really happening. No filters, just facts, just clarity. If you want to understand the why behind the world, you're in the right place. And today, we are talking about the travel, the life's best teacher. I have with me today my friend Ft.Shrisha Ananthnarayan. Shrisha, welcome to the program.
Hi Mohan, my pleasure to be here.
And Shrisha is my friend, he's a globetrotter and he is a very passionate traveler. And he has a lot of stuff to share with us. Shrisha, to start with, the first question is on the travel itself. Why a human being needs to travel? Of course, there can be many different answers for that. I just want to know what is the need for travel?
We always say our parents are our first teachers in life. And then, the common thing is that school is your second teacher. But I beg to differ here. Travel is your second teacher. The parents teach you what life is all about and what you as a human can become. Travel teaches a lot more than that. Humility, different ecosystem, perspectives, and how you respect nature in whatever form that you would encounter that. The thing is, travel, most people think that they travel, but they do not know that they are actually going to a place as a tourist. They do not explore the finer nuances that the places have to offer. So travel is just not going to a place trying to see the Me Too places. For example, when I say a Me Too place, people go to Paris. They see the Louvre Museum. They see the Eiffel Tower, come back and share the photographs with those who have traveled to Paris. But Paris has got lot more than that.
So this is not travel, what you're saying is this is tourist place. You go to a tourist place.
Tourist place, or you go there as a tourist. The same places can offer you some zillion times more experience than what. When I had been to Paris, I refused to stay in a hotel. In fact, I stayed in a dormitory, which worked out cheaper to me. But the thing is, you interact with a lot of other travelers, the backpackers, for example. There's a lot more interaction that happens. The places that they have gone, in the same place that I probably had written my own itinerary, it differed so much There was so much that the place had to offer.
But the reality, Shrisha, is that we have 2 days leave in a 7 days week. Saturday, Sunday. Maybe you can take a Friday, maybe take a Monday. 4 days whenever there is a long weekend. So you book in advance, and in 4 days you want to cover probably 10 places, and you know which are the destinations, and same place where my friends and relatives have taken the pictures, I would also go there, and in front of Taj Mahal I will take a picture, in front of Mysore Palace I'll take a picture
Absolutely.
and come. I mean,
If that's the
isn't
case,
it a reality?
Yeah, it is a reality. I would term it as it's a sad reality, right? So the problem that people encounter without their own knowledge is that for them it's a checklist from they're checking off from their bucket list, right? That is not what it is.
In fact, that just reminded me, sorry to disrupt you, because nowadays you have AI, so you don't have to go there. If you have to just take a picture, in fact, place a green card.
Absolutely. In fact, when I had this travel idea, I had planned on creating I'm not talking today, I'm talking back about 10, 11 years ago, when I had a small setup called Untold Stories, when I had planned on virtual reality, where it's an experience center, where the walls were the screens, right? I had planned on having, say for example, a Thailand week, where people could come there and create an artificial beach with the walls that takes you to all the places that Thailand has to offer. Well, but that is not. You can see food. Can you eat food? Right? Travel is actually the same. AI or not, only when you go to that place and see it with your own eyes, that is when you experience the beauty of what nature has to offer.
So it's an experience, is what you're saying.
Travel is experience. Travel is learning what the place has to offer. Travel is about interacting with the local people. It is about how they speak, their body language. If you go to Italy, you don't need to actually speak to them, because most of their language is with their hands. The hand movements is so much that you don't need to understand their language, because the rest of the body is communicating with you whatever they have to say. Whether they're angry, or they're showing a direction to another place, or they ask you to, whether the food is delicious, they like you, they don't like you, everything. That is what it is. Okay. Now, other thing. When you go to Italy, an average guy, right? I would say an average guy like you or me, the one whom you would encounter on a road, even he's so immaculately dressed. He's so very well dressed.
Italy?
In Italy. Okay. So very well dressed, right? Up to date. And to the last thing, the way he's polished his shoes, the way the color coordination, but that is normal for them. Okay. Unlike what it is in India. So these things, only your travel, when you go there, you will observe these things. AI can take you to a nice, good, a popular destination or some popular spot in Italy. It can probably take you to the ruins in the Rome, right? So, but that is not all. But these are the ones, right? So they eat huge pizzas for lunch.
So what you are suggesting is don't look at the dead, buildings and the pictures and
that
the
is
leaning
part
wall,
of it.
this
Exactly.
wall, that wall. But
those can be only about, in my opinion, it can be only about 20-30%. There's 70% more normal people miss out on. They have pizzas, 12-inch pizzas for lunch, thin crust, but still they are as lean as one can get. Right? The same thing, if we indulge in that 2 days, I would have put on some 3-4 kgs. But why? Why does it happen? So the race is what it means. So Caucasians are from Central America, kind of a thing. So a Caucasian can eat, burgers, any fatty food. They'll never put on weight. If I do that as an Indian, as South Indian, in month's time, our metabolism such.
We are used to that because of the rice, sambar and all that
Not
wheat and
the
everything.
metabolism such. Yeah. The race is such. We can't ape that race.
Okay.
Right? So these things you will observe only when you've gone there. Right? So if you want to travel, be curious like a small child. Ask yourself some 1,000 questions. That is when you get to know the beauty of
now
traveling.
I get the point as to why you suggested the title of this podcast as the life's lesson. Now I get that. I was thinking, what is there to learn in travel?
No. One too many things. One too many things.
Okay.
So the thing is, just to give you a small idea about how a traveler ideally should be. When I went to Bali, right? Most people go to Bali. They go to beaches because Bali is a landscape place. Lot of beautiful beaches and stuff like that. Bali, I got myself invited to a wedding there. Right? Bali is the only place in Indonesia which has got 95% Hindu population. The rest of Indonesia is Muslim population, right? So in Bali, I got myself invited to a Balinese wedding. Now, it was an amazing, it's such a beautiful experience where, like, I was treated among other family members because no tourists asked themselves to be invited. Number one, people go to Bali, right? Even in the recent last 1 to 2 months that I had observed, people had gone to Bali, 2-3 of my contacts. Then I asked them, are you going to Lombok? They said, Lombok what? I said, it's just a neighboring island to Bali. You got beautiful 3 islands on the northwestern part of Lombok. Okay. Lombok, for your information, even Lombok has got an international airport. Bali has got an international airport. Between Bali to Lombok, it's a 2.5 hours speedboat ride, right? It costs about $75, but it's worth it. When you go to Lombok, the landscape is far better than Bali. It is less noisier, less tourists. And then you got Gili Islands. The Gili Islands, if you go, it is ink blue sea and sparkling white sand. It's a treat to the eyes, right? So people don't know about it. And it has got its own volcano. It's called Mount Rinjani, which is about 11,000 feet above sea level. Can you believe it's a tropical country where it's hot all through the year? But here on Mount Rinjani, it is -2 degrees. It's a trek. And there on the volcano, you find a 600 feet deep lake, which is ice cold, right? So these are the things that you do not. You have to go there to experience.
So these are wonders, basically.
These are wonders, beautiful. And you also got a pink beach till afternoon. The sand appears to be pink till about 2 o'clock. So you have to see it to believe it.
So what you're saying is basically it's not just going to the popularist places and taking the pictures, but you learn the culture there, learn the people. In fact, while you were saying this, you were invited for a Balinese wedding. I remember there was a German who attended recently last week, my brother's son got married, and his research guide in Germany, those couple, they had come. And they were amused to see whatever the traditional Hindu family marriages and now I can get that probably you would have the similar experience.
Yes. It was. I was awestruck to be. And one other thing is in Bali, right? There are lots of temples. So the temple priests are identified at a very young age, right? So non-vegetarian is predominant. So I'm trying to demonstrate why you should try to get to understand the culture of the place. A priest is identified by the existing priest at a very young age, right? So till the time, and that priest, he can eat maximum egg, right? So till such time, and the rest of the family continue to eat non-veg. So the priest can eat maximum of egg. That is what is permitted. And then he actually acquires special powers. Trust me, he has special powers being a priest of a temple. And another thing is they offer God what they like. So I have seen in a plate which has got flowers and you've got cigarettes, all these things they offer.
Cigarettes?
God. Yes, they offer cigarettes and all these things to the gods.
So
but they wholeheartedly they offer gods. So this is beautiful. This is what I meant to say.
We see, especially in our villages in India, even in Bangalore, Karnataka, in the small villages, whatever their father, mother, if they are no more, they go to their grave and they offer, this is the neer dosa. This dosa my mother used to like. They'll keep it there and come.
Yeah. Okay. So this is how it is. And another thing, if I can give an example, Africa is a beautiful country. I'm talking about East Africa, Central and South Africa, southern part of Africa. So anywhere you go, being a vegetarian. You go to Africa, they say you get vegetarian. Yes, you get vegetarian. If you want pure veg, you have to go to an Indian restaurant.
Okay.
You know why?
I think you're talking about me.
Me too.
Me. Okay.
So the thing is, the beautiful part, and now more from an experience, not from the eating experience. So I'm a person who go to a local restaurant, right? So I went to this was in Nigeria. I went to a local Nigerian restaurant. So what happens there? I said, I want biryani. Which biryani do you have? They said, yes. Then I got the biryani, but I was not sure whether it was a vegetarian. I asked them.
We always have a doubt.
Yes, we always have those. Vegetarians, we are very touchy.
Very doubtful.
I asked all the things. They said no, 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 and you can trust them on that. But still, it was not, smelling vegetarian. Then I asked them what oil, animal oil.
Oh.
Okay, so for them that is what it is, right? And another thing, that travel. So I got invited. I had one of the people when I stayed there for a couple of months. Then I had prepared rice, rasam, and I invited a Nigerian. Nigerians are normally big built, right? They have an intimidating personality because of their frame, I would say, right? So they're really big. You feel like, okay, I better not mess with them, kind of a feeling that you get. He comes, I serve him, nothing much, only rice rasam. I am not a spicy eater. Rice rasam I give. This guy was crying all through. Crying as in not emotional cry. He could not take even that much of spice.
Oh.
He was sweating, he was crying. He said, I can't take it anymore. I'm talking about rasam rice, not even a spicy biryani or a spicy anything. So the thing is, they don't eat spice. For them, historically, they have eating meat in a raw form. And then these days, last a few decades or many decades, they started cooking it. So primarily that is what it is.
So just want to bring you to this because you've been talking about Africa, you're talking about different places, your experience. For a normal layman, and I have never traveled, and I want to know what should I do, because many years, 20, 30 years, I was struggling with life, with the kids, with money and all that. It's common for a lot of people. Once you are 45, 50, you have some decent amount of income, but I really don't know what to do, where to go. In fact, we do a lot of clients, we do this net worth planning, and we tell them set aside some 10 lakhs towards your annual expense for travel alone, just to have that experience. Take 15 days, 1 month. A lot of people do also nowadays. But if I want to go out, tell me initially, what are the best places? How should I go about? Because I can go to international place, I can go within India, I can go within my state. There's so many places, maybe within Bangalore also I do not know. In and around, we don't know except for the places where it is advertised.
Yeah. So the thing is, it depends on the kind of time is investment that you can make, right? If it is 2-3 days, just go on a break, go to a resort, sleep well, play well, swim well, eat well, come back. So in 2-3 days, don't even see it from a traveler's point of view.
Oh, okay.
Right? So if you got a week, then that is when you can start seeing from a traveler's point of view. If you got a week, don't go really far. In my opinion, you can do something like Sri Lanka, if it is offshore, Sri Lanka or Dubai or maybe Malaysia, Malaysia alone or Singapore alone. So if you want to kind of explore, this is what I would say, I would suggest. If not, then you probably can go to Northeast India. Northeast India is really, really beautiful, all right, really beautiful. If you go to Meghalaya, you go to Arunachal Pradesh, but each state, like in Arunachal Pradesh, needs 7 days. Right?
7 days.
7 days.
Okay.
Your Assam, Nagaland and Meghalaya, probably you can do it in about 7 to 8 days. That is what I would suggest. Or 7 to 8 days, Bhutan is beautiful, right? Bhutan, now since I mentioned Bhutan, do you know how they measure their overall, the success of the country? We do as GDP.
Yeah, we do know happiness quotient.
They call it as gross national happiness, GNH.
GNH.
Right?
Okay.
So they go by how happy the population is. There's not much, but it is still doing great. And another thing about Bhutan, they have a cap of 150 or 2 lakh people per annum for them. That is what it is. After that, they do not allow people. However, for Indians, they do not have that. For other people, it is, and you have to spend a minimum of $250 per day for every tourist, which could include your stay, food and all.
Okay.
But you have to necessarily, and then all your bookings has to be done through their local agents.
Oh.
So thereby what happens, the tourism, those tourist operators also thrive, right? Everyone makes, the wealth is divided, and within, you can't, a foreigner can't directly book a hotel kind of a thing, right?
That's a well structured,
Very, very well
tourism industry.
structured, right? And you can see, a small thing again, why you should travel and not use a AI kind of a thing. You have cars, right? So it's a right-hand driven car, right? And best thing is, all the roads there are built by RBRO, that is Border Roads Organization. So fantastic roads you have. Okay, you have a car. The seat behind the door behind on the passenger is, as per rules, it has to be blocked, as in it is blocked, as in you, it is locked and it can't be unlocked. So the guy on the behind the driver has to get out from the left door. The reason is, if you open if this person doesn't look back and open the door, there might be an accident that can occur. No. So they go to the small details to make it to make it a very safe place. Other thing is, it is so safe. If you have forgotten your suitcase on the pavement today, you can come back tomorrow and take it anywhere in the country.
Bhutan.
Oh. That is what it is.
Okay.
Beautiful. You got tiger's nest. It's a beautiful trek, but it's a monastery which is on the cliff, which is on the wall of a mountain. Amazing. So, and you've got a lot of activities, be it cycling, river rafting, swimming. It could be anything. Amazing it is. Quite contrary to Nepal. Nepal is more democratic, and there are too many people. There's no regulatory system in place as compared to Bhutan.
So for 7 days, you're saying Bhutan would be a good place.
Fantastic.
And Arunachal Pradesh is a good place.
Right.
Nagaland, the northeastern.
You have Rajasthan.
Okay.
Right. You can go to Rajasthan. Amazing. And you can do and if you are a history buff, you can do a Chola trail in Tamil Nadu. Okay. Right, and you can do in Kerala, you can do that, or you can do a foot trail in Karnataka itself. Starting from Bangalore, you can go up to Hubli and stop every 150 kilometers, and the foot changes. Okay, one best thing about Karnataka, right? You are from this place, I am from this place. Do you know the dialect changes every 135 kilometers in Karnataka?
Yes. I'm a very hardcore Kannadiga, so
right?
I do have good information.
And food also changes.
Absolutely.
Food and this. The same thing applies in
I
other
think it is applicable to other places as well.
Of course.
If I've seen in Maharashtra, it also changes with the way people speak in Sangli is very different from what they speak in other places.
That's right.
So it's a pretty clear Indian sign at every 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers, almost everything changes.
Yeah.
And still it is together.
Right.
So a point about 7 days. So what more can I do? Do I need about 15-20 days if I have to travel outside India? Because of course you talked about Bhutan.
Neighboring countries, in my opinion, 7 days would be more than enough, because the places that is surrounding India are all small places, right? However, if you want to go to far off places, like let's just say that you're looking at, say, New Zealand. I would say New Zealand requires a month.
Oh,
the North Island and South Island, New Zealand is a heaven on earth, right? I would rate it lot more beautiful than even Switzerland.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay. I would rate it lot more.
Popular opinion is Switzerland.
I would assume that those who have gone to Switzerland may not have gone to New Zealand. Okay. So, but New Zealand is one of the most beautiful, as in God was very partial to that country, is how I would put it as. The English and the culture is so different as compared to Australia, which is neighboring. But still, between them, they have got about 1 to 2 hours time difference.
So you are saying 1 month only for New Zealand?
1 month only for New Zealand. That is how you need to travel.
Okay. So 1 month, can it be UK? Can it be Europe? Because 1 month means a lot of people, what I have seen is like 15 days, they will plan everything in the
That's
Europe.
because they want more stamps in their passport, nothing more than that. Because they want to come back and show people that I've got so many stamps, I've gone to, or even if it is not a stamp, they would want to, had been to some 3-4 countries, do you know? But what they have done there, no one asked.
It is as good as going from Tamil Nadu to Karnataka.
Or you go to
Andhra.
Majestic, go to the bus stand and come back. So I would put it that way, yeah.
But at least it's good for the ego boosting in terms of
yeah.
a good feel.
If that's the objective, yes, of course it does.
But what you say is you need a good 1 month for one country, or
One
is
country.
it like specific to specific
No,
places?
Europe, what happens?
Yeah.
Europe, in my opinion, or I would very strongly suggest every country needs a month, because Europe has got history, unlike US. US is a huge country, but it doesn't have history.
Okay.
US is about 300 years old, right?
Okay.
And it doesn't have any kind of history. Whatever
And
history
US creates histories.
US creates histories, whatever history that there was, they have demolished.
Okay.
As in, they're only about, from whatever that limited knowledge that I have, the Red Indians, they are the natives of that place. They were millions, now they're only about 1 lakh Indians, that is Red Indians in US. So they don't have history. Whatever history, they have destroyed it, right? So Europe has got a lot of history. And if you want to kind of go into each of this, it's amazing. It's amazing. I would suggest it's an investment. It's an investment on yourself, because you come back a lot more enriched in the way you think.
So when you say history, it's about the natural places and museums and the places and things like that.
Yeah.
But if it is US, people go for 15 days, 20 days for US for travel.
US, actually,
It
US
is for more about to understand the technology, the malls and the buildings and the
No, US
multiple
actually has got a lot of beautiful places. It is said, and it is a fact too, if you want to explore all of US, you need 1 lifetime. So,
is it?
yeah, as in US has got so much to, I'm not
Natural
talking about
places?
natural places.
Okay.
Right, this thing has got, and you need to kind of live that place.
Oh.
So that is how you can actually, US is, no, I would say it's a vast place for you to kind of
So
explore.
if that is the case, then we need to sell this as a concept, because we keep telling in our financial planning that you earn a lot of money and spend rest of your life 20-30 years, maybe 50-55, you retire, earn a lot of money and make sure you are getting liquidity through your investments and passive income. And this income should be spent because you need that kind of time, what you're talking about, 1 month in just New Zealand. And I mean, you can't be away all the time. You need to come back to Bangalore to have a cup of coffee.
Absolutely.
So you can't be away for very long. But at the same time, what you're suggesting is you need to spend a lot of time to be there.
Yeah, otherwise it's,
And
you would have wasted money.
It doesn't cost much if you actually go there and stay longer. Is that right?
It doesn't cost much if you plan it right much in advance. It would be almost 2/3 of what it would cost you if you just plan it 1 or 2 months in advance. If you plan it about 6-7 months in advance, you can get it at the same thing, same itinerary for the same duration. It would be about 50 to 60% only.
Okay.
You have to plan it right. I'm not boasting. This was in 2008, 2009. I had actually worked out. If you plan about 6-7 months in advance, Europe, and I'm talking about 2008, 2009. Europe I had planned for 40 days. 40 days, including everything, inclusive. That is your flight charges, everything came to about 1.4 lakhs.
For 40 days?
For 40 days.
Oh.
The same thing now could be about 3 to 4 lakhs. But if the thing is how
it's about planning is all about carrying very less
so
luggage.
the thing is, if you
planning
want
the right
to
places.
experience, right? I'm not talking about people who are aged. I'm talking about people who are in their prime and who would want to explore the world. I say don't spend too much on travel. Plan it right? Don't think of I need to have a 3-star, 4-star kind of a head, but something that is comfortable, right? And that was planning.
But the safety is also very important, right?
Safety, that's what, you plan it right. And nights is when you travel.
Okay.
So your stay is already taken care of because you're in the bus or you're in the train, right? So about 10 to 15 days if you're going to travel, there's no 10 to 15 days of hotel charges that you can save. So depends on
So
how
that
you're
is
going to.
about planning.
That is the planning, right? So that you can. That was on a theory part. This is something that I've actually done. For 15 days, most of Malaysia, I did this, it was a very frugal thing, where I stayed in dormitory, which cost me something like 200, 250 in Indian value, and for 15 days. And in that dormitory, breakfast was free, where you got bread, cornflakes, that's about it, and maybe egg if at all. So take a guess how much I would have spent. The same thing happened in another interview. I asked, just take a guess. I would have spent
About 20,000-30,000.
6,500 rupees.
Okay.
That included my travel, stay, food, everything included. Backpacking, saw a lot of places and came
I
back.
think a lot of people would want to consult you, because probably it will take difficult steps for us to actually find out what is the, and
Actually, you can do
yeah,
it. Okay, this I'm talking about. This was in 2018. Now 6.5, maybe 9, maybe 10, but it's still worth it.
it's still worth it. Yeah. So my other question is, of course, there's a lot to talk about travel if I go into the depth, but also to your experience, you seem to have a tremendous amount of stories to tell, your own experiences. But I want to understand travel from the person's point of view. Like, is there anything, because some people because you need to customize to your likes if you
Exactly.
go out and spend money. If you like beaches, like the other time you were talking about, what should be personalization? So if you look up to spending, like adventurous travel, it should be a calm solo travel, or should it be experiential travel? So what are the basically ways that people can find what is their best suit?
See, most solo travel for Indians is still at a very nascent stage, right? People are still, I would say,
They would get bored.
they won't get bored. They have apprehension,
Okay.
because for them, as it is, they have not. Most guys have not
More
traveled.
than the traveler himself, the family wouldn't allow them.
Family wouldn't allow, right? So that is one, and they have apprehension. For an Indian, he doesn't actually, safety he or she is scared of, that is there. They're more worried of being cheated. For them, being cheated of is a bigger thing than safety in itself. This is my analysis, right? So the thing is, most people, at least Indians, we go in groups. We either go in not just one family, 2-3 families, or it would be about 4-5 friends who go.
It is also to indulge and keep talking,
right?
and
So those things. So what happens is, customization happens based on what they actually want. Half of the people would want a leisure plus activity. There's not. Earlier it was always leisure. They wanted to see the main tourist spots and then come back. Now they would also want to indulge in activities. It could be anything, cultural, it could be adventure, it could be anything. So depending on what they want. So the thing is, if you actually want to go to US and if you want to go to Alaska, Alaska is a part of US, but it is detached from the mainland. So Alaska, if you want to go to Alaska, long winters, right? It starts from October, goes on till about April, May kind of a thing. June, July, August is when you got summer. During summer, sun doesn't set. It would be like a dusk at some 2 a.m. in the morning. By 4, it will be bright again. But the thing is,
so there is no night.
There's no night during summers.
Okay.
And there's no day during winters.
Oh.
Right? It would be like, just like how it, this morning I saw at around 5:45, 6, it's just like, daybreak kind of a thing. So that is how it would be for them, which is the brightest. This would happen between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And again, it will be dark. So depressions. So this happens in Alaska, parts of Canada, and in your Scandinavian countries, and also in Russia to a large extent, right? So what happens is, people tend to they go into depression. The locals won't. But if you go from here to that place and settle, you get depressed because you do not know what to do. Those guys they have been there for zillions of years.
So they
know.
used to 6 months light and 6 months night.
So irrespective of light or no light, they go about doing whatever they do. For us, if it is dark, we are conditioned to sleep, right? Over a period of time, you slip into depression. That is what happens.
So this is about people who want to leisure plus activity. What
Yeah.
are the other types?
Then you have people who would want to have hyperactivity. They would want to go. Now, I have a colleague in my office, so she had gone to Dubai. She did all possible activities, right? Sky jump,
sky.
bungee jumping, name it, go out, explore places. This was in Dubai. So, this is hyperactivity, I would say. Fantastic, because you are you're in a soaking. You are soaking so much from that place. So yeah, this is another one, right? And then you have slightly middle age or higher, or in terms of age group. Those are the people who would want not exactly leisure, but not something that is packed with activity. So that is kind of spread out.
So if you travel one day, you stay there for
You
2-3
stay-
days,
exactly.
and just relax, have
Relax.
a normal wake up.
I'm going to see. I'm going to go to that historical place.
Read
I'm going to
your,
make
novels and
Novel.
other things.
I'm going to make notes of whatever that museum wall. Say, okay, I can relate to this inscription. Do Google, and then the people do that. I won't say that is leisure, right? That is also an activity, but it takes its own time. You have to give that activity so much of time. That is what it is.
Wonderful, Shrisha. I think we've got into a good idea about what the travel is, and not that we have explored a lot of lessons, and I'm sure you have traveled a lot and you have a lot more to
A
share.
bit, I would say a lot. A bit, yeah.
Yeah. So we will continue this journey of exploring how much more can we learn by traveling outside, and specifically we can talk about places, we can talk about the type of travel in detail in each of the podcasts, because this is of an interest to a lot of people, and it also in a way promotes the tourism.
Travel is catching up in India big time, because
yeah.
the youngsters, they would want to, they are not looking at saving much. First, I would want to travel. I
And
want to see
also,
places
I
now.
would say on the other side of it, it's a big pain if you have a long travel, and if your family insists to pick up something and go somewhere. I see the hell there in terms of, too many people, too many people
too many,
today.
yeah.
There's no car parking, there is no place to even put it on the side.
Yeah.
So, especially the long weekends.
That can be frustrating, yes.
So I think there's a lot to talk about, particularly
We will
in
talk.
travel.
I would love to.
And that was very interesting discussion,
Yeah.
and I think there is a lot more to explore your experience in terms of different places, and also you seem to be an amazing storyteller in terms of making these things. Really.
Probably like the passion comes out on its own. It's not me, it's something else probably.
So wonderful having you today, Shrisha. It is amazing to talk about these life experience, and also it's a lot of lessons, like be it the full 22 hours day in summer in Alaska that you talked about, or be it the Balinese weddings and priest becoming powerful with restricting only him the diet restrictions.
Right.
So the lot many things to discuss, and wonderful, and thank you so much for coming in today. And for all the viewers, this was the lessons from the travel from Shrisha. And if you found this episode useful, don't just scroll, think, because awareness is power and clarity is wealth. Subscribe to MKR Unplugged, share this with your tribe, and stay tuned. Your next big insight drops soon.